So this worldwide is a multi-billion dollar, hundreds of billions of dollars, just in the drug side of it. 10 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius ramps up and then tails off in the fall. Then we get variable growing climate, right? At times of the year I don't have enough sun because cannabis needs to be grown when it's vegetative, when you're trying to just grow the plant, it needs to see 18 hours of sunlight, like 12 hours of complete darkness. So we don't see that darkness until October. The 12-hour period is right about this time of year. So I can plant it anytime, if I'm growing it outside, if I plant it any time of the year, it'll just grow and grow and grow. It'll grow to 6, 8 feet tall, but it won't go into flower until October. So the difficulty is finding, I can grow it in a greenhouse. We have, the investment in Canada is huge. There's companies building, the large, very large cannabis companies are building 1.2, 1.5 million square foot greenhouses. These are 30 acres under glass. And trying to manage temperature, humidity, light, the expenses are very, takes to grow. I mean, you know, to think that you're doing it to grow something that you consume for enjoyment primarily, like alcohol, it makes no sense for the world to grow this crop. But there's a demand. You know, so that's the kind of moral balance of should I or shouldn't I. But what's going to happen is if countries like Colombia, countries like Mexico, Pakistan, Thailand, decide that they want to be the main suppliers, they could grab 60% of this market because you have the climate to grow it all year round, outdoors, without all of this infrastructure, right? Without having to build buildings. We've seen 20, 30 of these mega projects in Canada, these huge greenhouses, and I haven't seen more than 5 or 6 that look like they're really designed properly to grow the amount of cannabis that we need. It's just, there's too many challenges with pests and disease, powdery mildew, botrytis, right? All of these things are, just the issues are magnified inside a greenhouse because it's all closed in, right? And because it's grown like an organic crop, I can't put chemicals on it. I can't treat it with fungicides. I can't, right? It's just not possible. So the trick is, how do you develop? This will be a problem in any climate, but you know, how do you do the R&D to support that? So basically, from last year, the European market was about 4,000 kilograms of product, just dry flower, and I didn't include the amounts for oils, for extraction. So about 1,500 kilograms of that came from Canadian companies, 2,500 kilograms came from the Dutch, from Netherlands, 150 kilograms came from Italy, right? 150 kilograms wouldn't cover the stage. So this is where it was used in the EU. So basically, 62% of it was used in Germany. And Germany is really the first market that was approved by the domestic approvals for cannabis use, for medical use. So when you take, that's one country, 4,000 kilograms. Really brings down that environmental footprint that I said was so awful about the energy. In a commercial operation, I want to grow plants that are 18 inches tall, half a meter tall. I don't want to grow 3 feet, right? I don't need to grow leaves, I don't need stalks. But if I have it, there is a market, right, to that fiber and use it for other uses. Whether it's, you know, to mix with recycling. Back to the European market, so as 61% of the products supplied to Germany came out of the Netherlands. 35 Germany last year was about 60 million euros. Italy about 12 million, Netherlands 3.4. 70 million. But most of its market is black market, where the Netherlands are cannabis, but hasn't approved any production. So the coffee shops, they call them, are able to sell it, but they have to buy it from. The story is that the high value right now and the leaves, a solution of THC, CBD, or THC and CBD. And those basically had 1,500 kilograms of dry flower at an average price of about $13, officially about $20 million, but unofficially we're probably closer to $150 million. It's very difficult to get a research license. It takes maybe 18 months. There's a very tight control on how much cannabis we can have on site. So conditions we could explore, a lot of the theory and science that's gone into crops like dates and raising production. That's one facility. And I have 200 registered facilities right now in Canada. The other things are cultivation methods, pest and disease control.
Disease pattern that we are in, 3/4 of the deaths in the world are of non-communicable diseases, not right. The diet that we have evolved through the time, we have gone into the problems that we need really to look back. It's very difficult. The most difficult thing in the world is to bring them back to the nature. And this unnatural kind of a diet, obesity is one issue. The whole world is really facing with. Diabetes is one. The growth of the blood pressure is another one. These are the issues that mainly comes from your habits, and you have to really reconsider your habit, and that the obesity will be the economic and social burden in the next 2 decades. So we really have to think about it. Otherwise, we are really going into some place where we'll be in trouble. Now, this was another article about dementia and Alzheimer, and where cannabis could be of good use. And I will be giving you a few slides about cannabis also. So they say main reason is because of use of allopathic medicine. In your young life, when you use a lot of, and your age, when you go 60 and beyond, you will be in problems of dementia and other if you don't consider, using a lot of allopathic medicine and you don't treat yourself through diet. Let food be your medicine. That is the common saying, that food be your medicine rather than you take a lot of medicine. And in the morning he said that when in our rural area they make drug for themselves from the cannabis, they add almond, for example. And recent science says almond has vitamin B12, and this really helps in dementia and Alzheimer and other diseases. Look at them. This is thousands of years of history, and they know at that time that how can they treat themselves through, there was no sort of human science at that time. Another problem is the antibiotic that we use, irrational use of excess. Few people use it too much because they have access to it, have a lot of money, and some people have no access to it. So that has led to a lot of problems that we are, and we use in poultry and others, and we are in troubles. And then we are having issues related to diabetes that I talked about. Diabetes, I think for many years, was long list of possible side effects of the drug. At the bottom, when we talk about innovation, then we talk about, so why entrepreneurship of the spin-off companies, and we are reducers, we have to really change this. We feel proud of it, yet we need to be really realistic, which could be beside all this. It's important that our society has led to corruption. It's not only Pakistan. This has led to substandard kind of quality of education, which is really another issue that, sir, you may consider it when we talk about it. So, science and society, that is where we really now, through this process, we can reach out to the society. We can help them, that our science should be for the society to have some kind of impact rather than impact factor. That would really help you to take you somewhere where you can really be of good use. So,
is behind it. It's wild, it's weed, it's wild, it is understory of forest, it's also surface vegetation in landscape. So as such there's opportunity for domestication, for selection, for breeding, and then of course Mr. Hall has given us a full outlook of industry which can be made out of it. And most importantly, you know, people look down on, the society looks down on people who have preference for cannabis products, whereas there is no reason to look down at it. You know, this is a very good treatment. This is natural, so there is no reason to look down at that. As I have already confessed, so I hope that you will also make confessions in future and be truthful. Many of you who have actually done it have not shown their hands. Without consuming too much of time, I have volunteered with the permission of Vice Chancellor to invite two of my friends who have better insight than me. We have with us former Inspector General of Forest. This is Dr. Shinwari has told you that how much of vegetation, herbal exports are taking place without renewal. We are doing it without renewal. What I am foreseeing is that if we don't act and try to create an industry, very soon the bung will also disappear. It will disappear. It will go through an informal channel, and eventually there will be no bung left either. You know, there will be no cannabis left. So then that university is the right place to think. That's what the universities are all about. That you could basically foresee the opportunity. You could, but it's already too late. I say it's no more foreseeing. It's already in front of us. So university is supposed to actually do the whole framework and try to create industry. You know, Dr. Kamar Usman and myself have been talking about giving the definition to industry. You know, what is the definition of industry with standard intelligentsia is that Mia Mansha will come and he will write a check and we will say that this is university industry linkage. Mia Mansha will never come to you with a check. This is not university industry linkage. University industry linkage means that you create economic opportunities with the application of science. You do the relevant science, and you become solution provider. Only then there will be an industry in the making. So cannabis industry, as Mr. Hall has told us, that involves simple agronomy to going all the way up to more sophisticated genetics, going into product development, and then the regulatory framework, the stakeholders put together, that becomes industry. So let's create an example of making an industry out of it. Of course, we know that there is AMF, and you can easily be violating some laws of the land, so which you don't want to. And for that, Dr. Shimari has again suggested to us how to take these steps. We have to come up with a proposal. We have to ask for proper frame. It's the economic opportunity. There is economic opportunity which is already out there, and that's what R&D is
and our dean, directors and students and organizer of this seminar. I am very grateful. And food director, Food Institute, Dr. Asif Sir, and I said tomorrow is World Food Day, so we will celebrate together. So and this new idea of this hemp, I think this is also like a food crop. So and it's very relevant to this today's World Food Day. So this really this is a excellent opportunity for us for this university. So we have our friends from Canada. So last couple of years I have that experience at Dalhousie University. So this hemp is now look like the largest industry in agriculture system. So I thought that we should work on that and promote. And when I came here, I asked Dr. Ikrar Khan, so there are maybe some legal implications that we need license, because in Canada that's also very strict for licensing. But now some universities last year started trying to get license for R&D, and then some farmers started growing and got license. Then we have, Dr. Ikrar Khan told me, I was in Faisalabad, he said in that region we have wild crop everywhere, that cannabis. And then he said this, Dr. Shinwari, as he already offered his services to get license, to facilitate to get license, he said he's our friend and he can help us for this. And also Tuana Saab also mentioned that, he said I will also help to talk to some people in the government. So I discussed with the Minister of Science and Technology, so he's coming tomorrow. So I said this is a new area. So but we wanna, as a university, we wanna start this R&D activities. And we have a talented team here, and as this Andrew has mentioned, in different areas, so multidisciplinary, and also Dr. Shinwari mentioned as if we work together in a team. So our team also like comprise not only scientists, so we have excellent team like researchers in agronomy, physiology, entomology, plant pathology. We have engineers, we have IT people, so and food and nutrition. So and we have facilities like very big infrastructure for hydroponic. So for greenhouse, this indoor for research. So we have capability, but I think team should be broader. So like Dr. Shinwari is also will be our team member hopefully, and facilitate. Then the government will be part of that. Then the industry will be part of that. So and progressive farmers will be part of our team. So and I think we have all those pieces of puzzle, but need to connect those now. So this is the time, and I fully agreed with Dr. Shinwari that we are producing degree holders only. And when I came here, because my whole experience last 25 years abroad is in applied research. And nobody can deny from fundamental research, but agriculture is that applied science. So that's why you see that I have in Canadian universities, in US universities, I worked in England and in Japan. So